All right, everybody, this is a very, very unique opportunity for me, seeing as this is a channel about NFL history, and I usually talk about the history of the NFL, but this is really a time where we're living history right now, because in the over 100-year history of the NFL, we have never had a neutral site playoff game, excluding title games, until now. This is the first ever playoff game in NFL history to take place at a neutral venue that is not an NFL championship or a Super Bowl. And it's between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Rams. The game was originally supposed to be played at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, seeing as the Rams earned the number 4 seed by virtue of winning the NFC West. Unfortunately, though, the California wildfires that are still ongoing and just absolutely devastating. So many people lost their homes, lost their lives, lost everything in the process. Unfortunately, because of that, the NFL made the call, and the right call, to move the game to Arizona, to play it at State Farm Stadium. Not the first time that Arizona has hosted games from displaced California teams. We saw about 2 decades ago, the San Diego Chargers, due to wildfires in the area, moved a Monday Night Football game over to Sun Devil Stadium. We saw the San Francisco 49ers in 2020, when they couldn't play games in the state due to COVID and the outbreak there, play their home games in Arizona. And now we're seeing the Los Angeles Rams play a playoff game over at State Farm Stadium as the home team against the Minnesota Vikings. And I figured that, unfortunately, while this happened, and I hate the fact that it happened, because obviously I wish that the fires never happened and the game would be in California, this is a unique opportunity for me to go to a playoff game, the first ever neutral site playoff game that's not a championship in NFL history, seeing as it's right in my backyard. It is 15 minutes away from me. I live in downtown Phoenix. The stadium's in Glendale, so it's an easy drive. So I figured I would go to the game and show you guys around, show you what exactly State Farm Stadium is doing. I'll give you some inside looks. I'll give you a look at, do they really transform the venue into a Rams venue? How do they accommodate the Rams? How is a neutral site playoff game different from basically any other playoff game where there's a de facto home team? What's it like at State Farm Stadium? I'm going to show you around. This is a very unique video, a unique opportunity. I'm going to show you around, so let's get to it. All right, it's about 4 hours to kickoff, and I figured I might as well get down to Glendale early just so that I can beat the traffic and I can show you everything that's happening. Right now, I'm getting some lunch at Grimaldi's about 2 miles away from the stadium, and I will say I've seen a lot of Rams fans, a lot of Rams flags, a lot of Rams cars on the drive from Phoenix to Glendale, so this is going to be a Rams home game, I think. This is really going to feel like a Rams home game in terms of the crowd. I'm expecting a lot of Rams fans to show up. I know there's charter buses going from California to Arizona, about a 4-hour drive from SoFi to State Farm Stadium. And I know that a lot of season tickets are coming to this game. So I have a feeling it's going to be a very pro-Rams crowd today. I don't think it's going to be as neutral as a lot of people might be expecting. A lot of Rams flags and a lot of Rams cars on my drive. But let's get some lunch, and then we'll head over to the stadium, and I'll show you what's going on at State Farm. All right, so it's about 3 hours kickoff. We are at the we're at the black lot now. One of the secrets to State Farm Stadium, if you've never been to the venue, one of the secrets is usually you have to buy a parking pass. And if you buy a parking pass, you park close to the stadium. But it's a pain in the butt. It's an absolute pain in the butt. The traffic's a nightmare. If you get there like an hour before, you're gonna miss kickoff. It is an absolute nightmare traffic-wise. So what you do, you get off the exit before, get off at exit 5. Exit 6 is Cardinal Way. Get off at Camelback, exit 5. And you will go to the black lot. It's the first left turn. It's like there's like a shopping complex, like a Walmart around there or something. Make a left at the light and then just keep going. Follow where the amusement park is. The amusement park that is perpetually under construction. The Mattel amusement park, that with a Hot Wheels coaster that will never get completed. I've seen no progress on that. But just keep going down there, and it takes you to the black lot. You don't have to buy a parking pass. It's only $20 to park, and it's owned by the stadium, so it's super, super easy to. Yeah, there's a walk that's underneath. It's not too far of a distance, but if it is too far, there are carts available that you can ride to get to the stadium. Having said that, this is way easier in, easier out, and a lot cheaper. And you can make the game on time. Yeah, I don't think they changed the signage. I don't think they changed the signage for this game. Bit odd seeing welcome Cardinals fans for a Rams versus Vikings game, but we'll see what else they keep from Cardinals, what they try to make Rams home, but definitely a bit awkward start. Okay, I'm walking through the tunnel right now to go from the black lot to the stadium. Again, this is all owned by the facility, so it's all controlled with that. Like I said before, this is the first playoff game ever at a neutral site That is not a championship game. I should note that from 1932, when the first NFL championship was held, to 1969, the NFL championship was held at a team's location. Having said that, 1936, Boston, the Redskins, they moved their game to New York to try and increase attendance. They then moved to Washington in 1937, and we saw what happened after that. I think that's worked out pretty well the last 85 years or so, being in Washington. So it's not the first necessarily that was supposed to be at a home team site to a neutral, but this is the first non-championship game to be that. That's not to say that we almost didn't get that before. You might remember a few years ago after the Bills-Bengals game where Damar Hamlin collapsed on the field and the records were all off. If the Bills won that game in the playoffs and played the Chiefs, that game would be held in Atlanta at a neutral site, but we did not get that. And 2 years later, we are getting, for unfortunate circumstances, but we are getting the first ever neutral site playoff game that is not a championship. Bit of history here, and let's see what State Farm Stadium is doing about it. You know, they're not covering up the signage with playoffs or anything like that. It's still very much the Cardinals Stadium on the outside. I'm not sure what it's going to be like on the inside, but at least on the outside, not a whole lot of effort to make this a Rams home game. Now, obviously, this was on super short notice, so this is documenting everything, but super short notice. It would be very tough to do a lot of this stuff, to take stuff down or cover stuff up with only a few days' notice. Again, this was announced. I was on stream when this was announced. I think it was announced on Thursday that this was going to be happening. So I'm not surprised by this, but just something to keep in mind. It's definitely someone. Definitely someone. I think that's a Rams bus. It says LA with the logo. That's the Rams bus, bro. Perfect timing. That's the Rams bus right there. Yep, got the Rams logos. That's the Rams bus. Oh, so that was odd timing. That was perfect timing, actually. Right as I was about to cross the street, go through the first security checkpoint, Rams buses are here. So the Rams are in. I'm going to show you where they're going. So that's where those buses go. This is also where they keep the practice field. This is where they keep the field that's outside and they move it inside because, again, it's a movable field. So there's a ramp that they take down there. Oh, I do like that touch. Hang on a second. I do like that touch. I have not seen that before with the first responders. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. That's a nice touch. That is a nice touch. County ball stand. That's a really nice touch. That is... I've never seen anything there. That's a really good touch. Really well done by State Farm Stadium, and really good done by the Cardinals. Well, those are the Rams walking in right now. That's the bus that we literally, like pure luck, like pure coincidence, that's literally the bus.
Abandoned, huh?
I think even the cat wants to go to the playoff game. Even the cat wants to get inside. All right, so far we've seen the Rams pull in, and we've seen a cat in the walkway from the parking lot to the stadium. Ooh, this has been an adventure so far, and we have not even gotten past the second security checkpoint. We're gonna go to the Great Lawn and see what's going on over there, see how they're handling that. All right, trying to find a quiet spot by the Great Lawn. Turns out the band that is playing the pregame music, that's the Instant Classics. That's the band that I sing with the karaoke. Did not plan that. That was just pure coincidence, but yeah, they're really good. So they're gonna be entertaining until the stadium opens up. Really good stuff as always. But yeah, did you see my Breathe the Light video? That's the same band. That is literally the exact same band. So if you're at this game and you saw the band playing, yep, that's them. It's 2.5 hours before kickoff. I'm guessing about 65-35 split in favor of the Rams right now. 65-35 in terms of the fan base. Both fan bases represented very well here, though, so far. Very well represented.
Vikings fans, let me hear you! Rams fans! Oh, it's coming. We're getting close.
Listen to me. You're obsessed and just confess it, 'cause it's obvious.
Okay, bro, now it's kick. Band's done playing, cheerleaders are on, so time to get inside the stadium and let's see what's happening there. Let's do this playoff game. Let's do it. quick interjection before we go inside the stadium. I'm going to be doing a very similar vlog for the NFL draft in Green Bay this year. I'm going to the draft with my dad in April. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I'm going to show you some stuff in Green Bay at the NFL draft that the general public does not have access to. It's going to be a ton of fun. I did a similar thing last year in Detroit. I'm going to do another similar vlog this year. So if you like this style of content, if you like these vlogs at games and drafts, I know it's different from my usual content, but if you want to see an inside look at the NFL draft in Green Bay and you like this style, then make sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we post on the channel. And again, in 4 months' time, I'm going to be showing you something that you're really, really going to like from Green Bay. So make sure you're here for all the content and make sure you're here for that inside look in 4 months' time. Okay, so inside the stadium right now, they do have merch tents. You can buy Rams merch. They have a tent there. You also give it away. Everyone gets free this NFC West Division Champions towel for the Rams. They also have this silent auction thing where it's a lot of Rams and Vikings merch. There's even some of the Minnesota and LA sports teams that they have available for a silent auction. I'm going to show you what that's like. You can see here a lot of really cool merch that you could bid on. Definitely out of my price range, so still doing a video on any of this, but a lot of cool stuff they got here for the Rams Foundation. They got Minnesota head LA cover. Interesting little Dickerson 14th jersey right here, seeing is he was never on the team where they wore that logo. They had to see it with this Rams logo. And the very first series they were back at our ladder. So mismatched logo with that jersey. Still really cool nonetheless. All the best for my small town. Alright, so no surprises here. The actual team shop just completely closed. I'm guessing all the shops are going to be closed today. I'm just going to have some temporary tents selling Rams merch. They do have the casitas there too. I was wondering if they were going to have anything in the back end zone or just bleachers, or they were going to bring the casitas back. There are casitas, just like I've been all season. The casitas are back for this game. And again, just a really nice touch there with the first responders and the Los Angeles emblem and the California emblem. Really, really good touch there by the Cardinals. Did a very good job with that. I've been to many events at State Farm Stadium and been to some concerts here. So Taylor Swift here, The Weeknd, Luke Combs, still the Final Four here. Been to some Cardinals preseason games, regular season games. Gonna go later this year with the Jags, play the Cardinals in 2025. Assuming that game does not get moved, and I don't think it will. But I've been to a lot of events here at State Farm. None as unique as this one, though. This is a very, very unique experience. And again, we're witnessing history here. We are witnessing history in the making, going to this neutral site playoff game. Never been done before. And so far doing a very, very good job making it feel like a Rams home beat. Now, I went to SoFi. I've said SoFi is the nicest stand I've ever been to in my life. Went there for Jaguars-Rams in 2021. Jaguars got obliterated that game. That was the James Robinson gets benched for fumbling with Aaron Donald. Everyone has no idea what's happening. Went to that game. Great stadium. Horrible game, but great stadium. And one of my favorite parts of the experience was they had the mariachi band. And I can report that the mariachi band is here. The mariachi band, they did bring them over to State Farm Stadium for this game. So busting out all the stuff, sit and get a good look. There we go. There's the mariachi band getting warmed up. And they will be playing tonight in between the quarters, I'm guessing, or in between the TV timeouts. Real looking forward to that one. Mariachi band was one of the highlights of SoFi Stadium. One of the many highlights of a very good game experience and a very good venue. So excited to hear them. Well, I gotta say, I'm very, very surprised. They actually had a permanent, here, just so you pop-up tents, they have a permanent LA Rams merchandise shop. They took over one of the Cardinals shops and put their signs here. There's actually a fair amount of merchandise you can buy. Not as expensive as SoFi Stadium, which it was like 2 stores. When I remember that shop, it was the most expensive shop I've ever seen in a stadium. It was so many offerings, so many things available on display. But I will say the separate stand has more to come out of Jaguars game. I will say, I've looked at Jaguars merch at games at TIAA Bank or Everbank, this should say now, and this temporary tent, more offerings than what you buy at a Jaguars game. So make of that what you will. Also, gotta love this film, the LAFC, this hat at AOL in honor of the Brave Firefighters trying to put out this fire. It's in California. So, really nice touch there, something you can buy in the stadium as well. Also, I gotta say, I love how this is the history of the Cardinals. Well, it goes decade by decade. I love they just have never added anything beyond the opening of the stadium. So there's nothing about the Super Bowl. There are more photos of the fall of the Berlin Wall than there are any notes about the Cardinals making it to Super Bowl 43, and anything about the NFC Championship win, anything about any of that, which is crazy because in 1988, we have a whole paragraph about their 7-9 season, and we have a bunch of stuff about a lot of other seasons that they do not make the playoffs. 84 being one of them, that 9-7 record, but nothing beyond the start of the stadium. It's like they just completely forgot. After they built the stadium, they completely neglected this part of the league, which is, there's nothing about the 2010s or an addition to the 2000s, so keep that in mind. Well, you might want to get on that, because there's a lot of great history that is just not being shown in the stadium for some reason. Okay, one minor issue so far in terms of the planning, and it's not because the Rams being here or anything like that. The scheduling, and I don't know, they could have probably put a better spot for this, but this hallway in State Farm Stadium, it goes smaller because there's this giant column right over here. So the hallway, it condenses, so there's a bit of a logjam, because right next to this column where it shrinks is the Monday Night Football booth, where Van Pelt is and Kelsey, so everyone stopped here, trying to get their photo, trying to get a shot on the camera, so not necessarily the best planning on their part, but it's pretty cool having Monday Night Countdown for here as well. What's interesting is that I am at another Rams merchandise, but they have a lot of these pop-up booths right now for the Rams, and there's different stuff at every one of these booths. There's stuff that I haven't seen before. I've walked around the entire 100 level. I just saw it for the first time here, so gonna see what they have. There is something that catches my eye that I do want to get as the momentum for the game, so gonna show you what it is. Okay, so this is the towel they give out to everyone when they walk in if you want to pick one up. So this I got for free. This is your NFC West champion style, very similar to the Into South Jaguars one that I got in 22. Then they were giving out to everyone. And then this is what they had at the last merchandise set that I've not seen anywhere. Right as a minute for the game, just a towel, NFC wildcard, Rams Vikings. Also, speaking of things that State Farm Stadium needs to get updated, this is up in the 400 level. There's a history of the Fiesta Bowl, and that is the old logo. That is not the logo. It hasn't been to a Steelers in a while. Don't get me wrong, I love that logo, but it's been the Verbo Fiesta Bowl for quite some time. They do have this entire wall updated from photos of every single Fiesta Bowl played. Not this most recent was from Penn State and Boise State. Got to get that one up, which they obviously will. The game just happened 2 weeks ago, so got to get that photo processed and get in there. Oh, wait a second. Wait, who the heck is UFC? Wait a second. Who the heck is UFC? Okay, gotta get that one fixed too. Oh, that's a pretty bad typo. That's a really bad typo. Woo, man. Yeah, UFC. UFC, baby. Let's go Knights. UFC. Also, a little bit odd that they indicate Cultural Clef Championship and semifinal games, which makes sense, but they don't indicate that this was a championship game. They don't indicate that this was the BCS National Championship game. This was the Fiesta Bowl between Ohio State and Miami. This was the championship. Not sure why there's no indicator there. Also, I love that this is the further for Boise, Oklahoma. I think they probably should have used either the Statue of Liberty or the hook and ladder, something, not this. I don't think that was the most iconic photo you're going to get from that game. But cool little bit of history here with the history of the Fiesta Bowl. There's up to the 2030s, and I don't know what's going to happen from 2040 on. I'll see. Also, while we're on the topic of State Farm Stadium, they have this section where they honor everyone that is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame that made contributions with the Cardinals. So Aeneas Williams, Kurt Warner, a bunch of other guys on the other side. But in the others category, they got Don Coryell, and I gotta be honest, I think he deserves his own column. Kurt Warner, his primary contribution was definitely not with the Cardinals, it was with the Rams. Don Coryell, he made a lot of contribution with the Cardinals after a couple of playoff appearances, revolutionized the offense. Really, really fun offense there with Coryell in the mid-70s. I don't know why he's in the others. If Kurt Warner's got his own column, Don Coryell absolutely should. As it says here, the following Cardinals are the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame, the primary contributions for professional with other teams. Yeah, Kurt Warner, his primary contribution was definitely with the Rams. Was most definitely with the Rams, not the Cardinals. It definitely helped his legacy, but great tip, if there's ever a silent auction, try and find another one. Because the main silent auction, the one that I showed you at first, at the 100 level, a lot of foot traffic right by gate 1, so everyone saw that. But there's another one with the same exact things up in the 400 level, and there is like no one that signed up for any of these things. It's the same exact merchandise. There's no one that signed up for any of these. So, pro tip, if you ever come to a game at State Farm and there's a silent auction, check the 400 level. There might be something up there too. The same exact stuff, but less competition for bidding because there's a lot less foot traffic up here. Because usually you don't go to the 400 level unless you have a ticket in the 400 level.
Yeah, so at the silent auction, I actually found something in my price range that no one had bid on. It was going for a lot downstairs because of all the foot traffic, but up here in the 400 level, no one, not a single person had bid on it. I just got something on the wrong way. So yeah, no one had bid on it, so I'm gonna see. And if I win, I'll let you know. But it is really, really nice. So fingers crossed that I do win this thing. Put the minimum bid and we'll see what happens. This is the third playoff game I ever do my like. Went to the Jaguars-Bills wildcard round 2017 and the Jaguars-Chargers 2017. Nothing come back 2022. So third time in a playoff game and first time out in Arizona for a playoff game. This is a very, very unique experience. You got about 15 minutes to kickoff. And so far, State Farm's doing a heck of a job. State Farm Stadium doing a heck of a job. This really looks like a Rams home game. They brought the band, they brought cheerleaders, they brought everything. Here are a lot of Ram shops and doing a lot of stuff for the LA Fire Department and for all the people out there. Doing a really good job this host. Got to commend the Cardinals a lot for the job that they have done transforming this place into Rams home for at least today. At least for one day only. This is the Ram Palace and we're going to see how this game gets on. But Arizona, you've done a heck of a job. You've done a heck of a job. One of the unique, very weird things about this playoff game is that it is a Rams home game here. So we see Conde, they are the car sponsor of the Cardinals, and right next to it you got this giant sign for Toyota. So a bit of conflicting stuff there. That's what the contacts were like. And so there's a Toyota sign right next to a Hyundai sign, but some stuff for some lawyers smarter than me with my law school education to figure out at the end of the day. That's my takeaway from the first quarter. More teams see mariachi dance. Alright guys, it's halftime. I just got a portable charger up here, so that's why I walk to the conference right now, go back to my seat. Score right now, 24-3. If you're the Rams, Sam Darnold is just been pressured like crazy right now. Sam Darnold been pressured a ton. Vikings just getting all to the ball. Rams haven't had to run the ball today. Rams have not had to run the ball with Garrett Williams all today. They just able to be great with Stafford and whatnot. And Cam Robinson looks terrible. Cam Robinson, I said at the time you could have him Vikings. I'm more than okay giving up Cam Robinson, especially on a rental. And yeah, it's working out. Worked out pretty well for the Jaguars and Buckler left tackle. Cam Robinson looks like crap. So 30 more minutes left. Doesn't look good for the Vikings. They're getting the most of the second half. We'll say a lot of Viking fans in the upper deck. Lower deck is pretty much Rams, but upper deck is a lot of Vikings, though obviously a lot quieter up here. A lot quieter than the last 30 minutes or so. Third quarter about to get started. Let's do it. Oh, so didn't get a chance to talk about that controversial play in the second quarter because my phone battery was about to die and had to get a phone charger. But in terms of the sack fumble that turned out being a pass, I get it. Don't like the call, but I get it. I think that should be grounding. There's no way in the world it's not grounding, but the arm was going forward. I would like to see, maybe as a possible rule change, to prevent stuff like ever happening. Any ball that is 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage or further back, not counting tips, not counting spikes, any ball that's 5 yards behind the line is an automatic fumble, so that there's no disputing whether the arm was forward or not. It gets sort of a lot of the ambiguity of was it a forward pass or not. I think that would be a decent rule. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about that. Again, exception if the ball was touched by someone else or if it's a spike, but I think that would be a great rule change. Let me know your thoughts on that. I get why they call it that way, but not a fan of it. Not a fan of that call. They called it.
They took my road west. I took that to represent them. What's next? See everything on my state camera plan. You know what? They start to play. My best till I'm out there. They got drugs in my head. I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my hometown. Things I'm a fly. Let me contemplate. I glance to the left and I say my only names.
If you want to know how big the NFL is, you want to know. This game in Arizona, the TV timeout entertainment, not halftime, TV timeout entertainment at one point in the third quarter was Warren G. Name me another sport where the timeout entertainment in between a Rams salvage in the third quarter is the Warren G. Case in point. 6 minutes left. The upper deck is considerably emptier than it was at the start of the game. I think there's a pretty good reason to go. Well, this game was sold out. 2 minutes left, and I got the venue all to myself right now, pretty much. There is no one here. I am basically one of the last people with the 400 level, the 2-minute warning. Again, a lot of Vikings fans at the upper level. Lower level, a lot of Rams fans, so that's still pretty full. Upper level, a lot of Vikings, and as you can see, they've all left. They have all left. I can promise you this much. You will never see a home playoff game where the team is up by 3 scores in your life again that looks this empty. Usually, if the team is up by 3 scores in a playoff game, it's not deserted like it is right now. In lower bowl, still a lot of blue, but Viking fans, like I said, a lot of the upper level was Vikings fans. It has emptied considerably. And that'll be it. They gotta take one more knee. Don't leave yet. They gotta take one more knee. Don't leave yet. One more knee. Let's get this over with. One more knee. And that is the bowl game. Rams 27, Vikings 9. Yeah, so remember when I said about the auctions up here being cheaper than the ones down there? There we go, boys. There we go. Soon to be future Hall of Famer, Jared Allen. I know, just a spot for that one in my room. Can't put it in the office, I have no space, but I got a spot in the TV room, in the living room. I know, just where I'm putting that thing. Welcome to the Signed Jersey Club. What a frame this is. If you see an uptick in streams, this is probably why. If you see an uptick in my work output for the next few weeks, it's worth it. It is worth it. Didn't catch this on the way in, but they do have this nice sign here they put up. So they did replace some of the signs. Not all of them, but they replaced some of the signs with some Rams gear. They really did a good job. They really did a very good job. All right, just got back in the car. We're about to go back home. Look at my final thoughts when I get back in the studio. But just to show you the trick of the black lot and why it is the best slot. It is 9:51. Now, obviously, there were a lot of people that left the game early because it was a bit of a blowout. But I got back to my car at 9:51, and we're going to see how long it takes to get back to downtown Phoenix. So keep in mind that when I went to see Taylor Swift, my best friend was the one that drove and parked in a lot right next to the stadium. It took about 90 minutes just to get out of that lot. So we're going to see how long it takes to get from Glendale to Phoenix. It is 9:52. And you'll see why I love this slot. Again, it was only $20 to park. It's owned by the stadium. This is the trick. You don't have to buy a parking pass for it. So if you ever go to a Cardinals game, do not buy a parking pass. Go to the black lot, because this is one of the beautiful, beautiful perks of the lot. Just got back, and it is 10:19. So that took, 27 minutes? I was on the highway in 4 minutes. Black lot for the win. Okay, so I'm back from that playoff game. Final score, Rams 27, Vikings 9. It was never really that competitive. And I just want to get my final thoughts on not the game itself, because the game itself was not very good, and Sam Darnold played himself out of a lot of money with how bad his pocket presence was. But I do want to talk about the experience and just what a phenomenal, phenomenal job that the Arizona Cardinals did and State Farm Stadium did in getting ready for this game. I was a bit skeptical of how much it would feel like a home game for the Rams. I was a bit skeptical in terms of the signage, in terms of what offerings would be around. When I saw the entrance to the black lot and said, "Welcome Cardinals fans," easy sign take down, I was like, oh no, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to put in any effort outside making the field. But they did a really, really good job. A lot of team shops there, a lot of signage that was Rams related, and they brought everything. They brought the field host, they brought the entertainment, they brought the mariachi band, they brought the whole 9 yards, and even the pregame entertainment. They had not just the cheerleaders there, but they also had the same band that plays during Cardinals games, the Instant Classics, that plays during primetime Cardinals games at least. They were there on hand. So they really went all out. It felt like a home game for the Rams, but it had that flair of it actually, they're putting in a budget. They actually put in a budget outside of just swapping the field and letting them in the stadium. It was a really, really, really good experience. And even the scoreboard was not the same layout as the Cardinals scoreboard. I thought it was going to be the same exact layout, but they got the program in to make it the Rams scoreboard. Obviously, you can't have the Halo board, but with the Rams font, with stuff on different video boards that was not the same spot that you would look for a Cardinals game. So they really brought in their own crew and just let them do what they usually do for a Rams game, with the limitations of State Farm Stadium, since it's obviously not as newer, as SoFi Stadium doesn't have as much of the amenities that SoFi has. They did a really, really good job, and just very appreciative is the vibe that I got from fans, from the staff members, that they could put this on and that the Cardinals lended them the facility. Very, very appreciative. And this really was a great, great thing that the Cardinals did and that State Farm Stadium did, because they did a much better job than I thought in terms of making this feel like a Rams home game. Obviously, can't control the fan distribution, and there were a lot of Vikings fans in the upper deck. It was more Rams fans than Vikings fans across the whole stadium. I would say about a 60-40 split, 65-35. The lower bowl was basically all Rams. Upper bowl, it was definitely mainly Vikings, which is to be expected, seeing as in the Rams of the lower bowl, season ticket holders got first priority. You had a lot of people that were going to the game, and tickets are a bit more expensive down there versus in the upper bowl. So season ticket holders, no surprise if they were taking up the lower bowl seats.
but there was a pretty good distribution. It was predominantly Rams, but there was a fair amount of Vikings fans as well that were there. It was a really, really unique atmosphere. Hopefully it never happens again. This is one of those things that was awesome to go to, was super cool. Hopefully we never have to see a Rams playoff game at home in Arizona again, because hopefully there's not another incident like what's happened with the Fires out there, and hopefully they can play all their playoff games going forward at SoFi Stadium. But the door is always open to play games in Arizona if need be for any team, because State Farm Stadium did a bang-up job, did a phenomenal job, and it was a cool opportunity. It was a very cool and unique experience. I'm glad I was able to document it with you guys, and glad I was able to go to this game. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for tuning into this review. JG9 signing off, and the Rams moving on to the next round after winning a home playoff game in Arizona. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and fingers crossed that this fire gets put out soon and everything go back to a sense of normalcy in California and people can get their lives back on track. But appreciate it a ton. Thank you to the Cardinals. Thank you to State Farm Stadium. You did a really, really good job and a really good thing. And it was a very, very well put together game. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon.